What is up, everybody? It's your boy here today, and we have to talk about PSVR2 is not doing very well. The numbers are not that high so far. Big shocker. Not a shocker to me at all. Like I'm not surprised at all to see the VR is not doing too well. PSVR2 is not doing well. But apparently the sales is just 27,000 units by the end of March. I suspect a price cut on the PSVR2 would be needed to avoid a complete disaster, he says. So yeah, people are saying this is a disaster so far. Like it barely sold 300,000 copies in the first weeks on the market, which is not a good sign because people don't want it. It's like a very niche market that only people really buying this right now is the PlayStation fanboys and hype beasts who hype up any piece of new technology. Then again, they're gonna play it for like probably around a month and then move on. A few weeks, then move on. And that's probably being generous. They probably play for like a week and then move on. So probably put in a closet somewhere and move on from this. I don't know. Like I said before, I'm not shocked about this news at all. Um, they should have just made it. They should have just stopped half-assing it and just because they want to keep doing these half-ass efforts where they say, "Hey, we're gonna release our product first, then release it on PC later." Especially with their games, with their exclusives right now, they should just made this be completely playable on PC as well. Why not just do that? Like, you know, this product is super niche that not people are gonna like it. Why just limit this to just PlayStation players? You should have made it a PC adaptable as well. So, I think that's a huge flaw. Like, you got this super niche product, you need as much support as possible. So, they take a big L for not including the PC gamers with this one. So, yeah, like I said before, I'm not shocked by these low numbers. It's like, who wants to buy this? The average gamer is not gonna buy this. Um, Even people who are in the know who does like gaming news as myself, I'm not gonna buy this. I don't care about VR. So if I'm like the person who's really hardcore who follow the news like that, just expect the casual. Like the super casual is not gonna buy this. It's like, why am I gonna buy this headset? Why do I want to put a headset over my head and I can just play a game on a controller and a TV screen? So I don't know. It's just weird decisions by Sony left and right with this PSVR2 thing. Now this is the major focus of this first half of the year, while Sony is being carried by Square Enix this year as well for exclusive content. And the only first party content that's really coming out this year is Spider-Man 2, which comes out September, that we got leaked. Rumored September from the leak from the actor, Venom actor. So not a good look. Sony's not. I'm not really feeling Sony this year. It's like they're just being carried by Square Enix, and they got Spider-Man 2 coming out in September. So a complete drought of actual first-party content for people who are not into the VR thing. So not a good look for Sony, in my opinion. But let's see if people got to say down below. People know the Quest 3 is around the corner, and that's on PC. I do a lot of games PSVR 2. I can say it's a lot of great games. Even the cheaper ones are fun. Not a lot of issues with the tech. There's a need for some accessories, but companies are definitely making more. There's over 100 games in development, I believe. Okay. That doesn't answer why the thing is flopping, though. You can give it praise, but it doesn't explain why it's flopping. The PSVR launched and blew everything else away, not even close in sales for quite a while anyway. The Oculus did its thing, dropped to bargain price, and other VRs kind of faded away. PSVR 2 selling 207,000, 270,000 units isn't bad. Okay, apparently that's not bad now. He says it's not bad, while he says this is to avoid a complete disaster, you need to drop the price. So who opinion we gonna take here? I don't know. I think I'm gonna take these guys' opinion more than some random guy on Twitter. Totally expected, lol. First of all, it's more expensive than the console that powers it, which is a major, definitely neglected. That's definitely an insight they should have took more part in. Like, who's gonna buy an accessory more than the console itself? Second, the console that powers it literally holds the power of VR back. Third is if it's accessible for the PC, it isn't accessible for the PC. The second would be much of an issue. Lastly, the VR is not that popular for many reasons. Technology isn't there. Yeah, because it's still to the point where you see your hands like floating. I just don't like how it looks. It's like some type of cheap like arcade machine. A lot of these games are like a cheap arcade machine knockoff. So Xbox lost console war last year in a part due to Connect Focus. What does Xbox have to do with Sony and their failing PSVR? I don't know. It's like I can read a post completely about Sony and somebody will mention Xbox just out of nowhere, which is always hilarious to me. And then PlayStation launches a PSVR 2 headset. And then another one, LMAO. How did they not learn that having something cool does not work unless there's a hell of a use for it? PSVR 2 just shouldn't have been for PC and would have sold. Yeah, I agree. They need to lower the price, make it work for Windows, and give publishers incentives to patch existing PSVR1 and PSVR titles to work with it. That will give existing PSVR1 owners to upgrade. Okay. Expensive and no backwards compatibility. Unfortunate but not surprising. One thing can save it: make the API available for the PC. That definitely will save it. You got the whole PC market base. Well, not the entire PC market base, but the people who are into VR can support those, which will definitely keep it on its leg at least, so it's not just dying a slow death at this point. Man, that really sucks. Is by far the best VR headset I've ever tried. Okay. Well, I mean, if it doesn't matter if it's the best headset, if nobody buys it. It's like it could be the best thing ever, but if nobody buys it, they're gonna end the product just like they did with the Vita. So, like a lot of people say the Vita was the best handheld ever, but nobody supported it. It just died off. So, same thing could be happening to the PSVR2 at this point. So, if nobody actually supports it, if not enough people support it, I should say. If it was more backwards compatible, I would probably bite. So far, though, not worth it. Somebody at Sony had to advise them that the launch would be a disaster, right? I don't know. Maybe they're making some big brain moves, or they take a big loss at the beginning. Because how do you not know that this thing is not going to sell that well? Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this thing out that it's not going to sell that well. Like, you can't be that expensive, require $500 console to use, then launch with a small, not backwards compatible library and expect it to be a success. Hopefully, they can correct course. Yeah. I bought a PSVR1, but Sony gave me a cool party trick with games that weren't any better than traditional games. Yeah, that's the main thing, too. And these VR games is better than the traditional game with just a regular controller. So why would somebody invest into this, buy an expensive accessory, if it's not going to be better than the traditional games? At least you're supposed to have like some type of like, at least one big game or a few big VR games that's like just so mind-blowing that you want to play it over the traditional games. But I haven't seen anything, like even with their Horizon game, which is supposed to be their flagship game, that doesn't make me want to play that game over like the regular Horizon Forbidden West or any other regular title from Sony. So it's definitely a hard sell for a lot of people with this console, with this PSVR2 right now. So it's impressive tech, but one, no backwards compatibility hurts. Be unlocked to PS5 as in no PC compatibility. These two factors are a real pain point. They sell more units just being a headset you can buy, to be honest. Yeah. It should have been a headset you could play on PC and PlayStation. They should have did that. But a certain group was selling PSVR2 was the next blockbuster item and not a gimmick. So many fanboys they do believe in the most dumbest crap. Like, how do you think this is just not a gimmick and it's supposed to be like some new blockbuster revolutionary item in the gaming industry? Like, okay. We see what's the actual reality. We see reality that it is a cheap gimmick that people don't, the average person doesn't care about. The average gamer does not care about VR at this point. So, I honestly had no idea it was even out already. That's bad marketing by Sony. People don't even know the product was even out at this point. Okay. The Wii/Wii U. Is he trying to say, this is extremely vague, but I think he's trying to say that this product is going to flop like the Wii U did. I don't know. It's a vague comment, but I think that's what he's trying to say here. Lots of in the comments. Okay. Price cut, duh. It's a recession. No one can afford that. Yeah, and you got to think about that too. Like, we are in a recession right now, so people are probably trying to save their money. And I feel like if you're going to spend your money, you're going to buy a traditional game, big budget traditional game over a PSVR title. So, yep, ain't nobody buying it. Wait, it released. Once again, people didn't even know the thing even released already. That's a shame. It needs more support. Why is the Sony gamers who was bigging us up not supporting it? A lot of these Sony gamers only talk big on Twitter and not actually support the products. And we're gonna see another thing what happened to like Luna Studios with Forspoken, where they talked and they praised that game like they was gonna go out to support it, but they actually in reality they didn't support it, so the studio had to close down. Are we going to see this with this PSVR2 thing? I don't know. It'd be kind of wild if that's what happened with this PSVR2 device at this point. Like, it closes down because nobody actually buys it. what they say they was going to buy it on Twitter, but not actually buy it in reality. So who knows? They literally just need to make games for it. How did they not see this coming? It's just too expensive. Maybe if Sony actually bothers to do a general release rather than to make it a PlayStation Direct exclusive, then sales would be much higher. I, for one, would not be buying one until it's made available to other retailers. Yeah, that's another thing too. I don't think you can buy those other retailers. Like, you can't buy this in a Best Buy, a GameStop, or a Target so far. I think you can only buy this in PlayStation directly, which makes zero sense. Like, why this not in retail stores? Who knows? That's another L right there. Like, doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and the fact that it doesn't play the old PSVR games as well hurts it. So, man, this thing is dead in the water. This thing is dead in the water right now. The one guy who says it's a success, this is doing well right now. This guy's delusional. There's another level of delusion. People saying it's a complete disaster. So I'm gonna go with the guy who says it's a complete disaster because these numbers are not looking too great so far. So I'm gonna conclude it right here. No need to beat a dead horse. Like, who knows? This thing better get some support sooner. They're probably gonna take it out to the shed and put it as misery at this point. But who knows? But definitely want to see your thoughts down below about PSVR2 sales numbers so far that has been reported. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.